Boys and girls, late weather report for Thursday, October 21st, 2021. 2/1/2021. Anyway.
Amazing.
It's amazing how that works, how things line up occasionally. Anyway, let's see. So Aron Ra is still talking to Massimo, and let me see how to pronounce
Pigliucci.
How to pronounce Pigliucci. Let's see. I'm going to try to play it. Pronunciation.
Massimo Pigliucci.
Massimo Pigliucci. Okay. Now we know.
Perfect.
He is a very, very interesting man. And it's kind of cool because creationists always cherry pick his quotes. And he was laughing about it on in the first part of the thing, how many times, they use his quotes. And he kind of cleared things up that, yes, he disagrees with, the idea of Darwinian evolution as written in 1860. And there are a lot of new things about evolution that we're incorporating. And the theory is getting richer and richer. And that was that. So
it's almost like knowledge has increased in the sciences.
Yeah, right. It's almost like we didn't quit when Darwin wrote his book.
It's like they said, okay, he wrote the book. Now that's it.
More stuff after that.
I loved his take on consciousness too. What do you think of that?
Didn't he say that it kind of started up suddenly at a certain point?
No, he said it was probably gradual. He was more on the line of gradual. Okay, which kind of like I've never heard it described that way, and I kind of like that because that does kind of make sense, right?
I am so happy that he said what he said about David Chalmers, because that's exactly my criticism of Chalmers as a category error, and all of the dualists. Basically, they're making a category error, and they cannot defend dualism, and nobody thinks they can, except for some little weenies that come on our channel now and then think dualism is defendable, but it's not. Chalmers Chalmers, as I remember originally back, 10, 20 years ago, Chalmers thinks that we're going to discover something about physics that's going to explain consciousness on some new law or property. And so he's that kind of a dualist. He's not he doesn't believe in the supernatural, but he believes there's something about consciousness that only a new physical law can explain. And of course, David Chalmers became famous because he came up with the hard problem phrase, and everybody stood up, and he suddenly, went from just being a nobody to being famous, and he's been defending it ever since. But when you read his books, he argues against himself, just like John Searle. He makes these great arguments that are going against himself, and then he concludes for himself, for his dualistic idea. It just drives me crazy reading Chalmers or John Searle, because they both have this odd conclusion, and they seem to be arguing against themselves the whole time. So anyway, David Chalmers even invented something called second order semantics to support his view. But anyway, but there's that. He was talking about Dennett and the Churchlands, and he is a Dennett and a Churchland fan, and so am I. I think I'd get along really well with this guy. Peter's got to introduce me. So
he's also a Stoic and writes about Stoicism. So yeah. I'm curious as to anybody within earshot if they practice Stoicism. what principles does that mean to you?
Yeah, I don't really know what Stoicism is about, to tell you the truth. I think I once knew, but I can't find Icarus. I can't send him a link, so I'm going to put the link out in chat if he wants to come talk about Buddhism. He's been having a fight with Leo. Oh, Leo has such definitions. Should I throw it out there?
Yeah, and he definitely, he's, what's the best way to describe Leo when it comes to that? He's very firm on his
stubborn. That's
firm, stubborn on his definitions.
A good word. So Icarus, if you want to come in and talk about that, that would be fine. Buddhism, often misunderstood. It's kind of it's like a huge body, and it involves, I mean, it's went off in 50,000 directions. It can vary from the stiff upper lip British attitude all the way to the Diogenes telling Plato his mom sucked him long. What? No direction. Anyway. But I mean, you know, Buddhism ended up being, well, it came over to America and ended up in Hollywood, and it ended up being a woo-woo crystal religion, you know. So, I mean, they made bullshit out of it, basically. They took reincarnation seriously and didn't understand reincarnation, didn't understand karma, completely missed the fucking point with karma, you know. Karma's about having habits in your life, going through living the same mistakes over and over and over again until you become free of them. And all of the swarm was in yesterday, and I know?
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm bouncing. We're bouncing Olive around. So
I'm gonna make Olive dizzy.
Speak, Olive.
Hey there, how y'all doing?
Doing fine. How about you?
Hello.
Have you been here before?
Doing pretty fabulous.
Feeling pretty fabulous, huh? That's great.
Good.
Oh yeah.
What's going right?
I don't think I know anything about you. And you're not going to tell me.
She probably doesn't want you to know anything about her. You're that type of guy, so I'm just kidding.
What, describing?
No. He was asking you, I don't think I know anything about you. And I said, I don't think she wants you to know anything about her.
Well, here at Answers in Atheism, the first thing you like to know about somebody is, what side are you on, atheist or theist?
Definitely atheist. I am in the hard determinist camp.
You're on the right side.
Yeah, we can respect that.
That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the only question I had.
I have to tell people right now, if you ever got your education about world religions, other religions, from a book by Josh McDowell on the topic, I think it's just full of crap, because I could have swore in that book he said something about Buddhists are told, as part of their growth, that they can participate in observing religion as part of their path. But I'm not finding it here in the Wikipedia article. If it is, it must be a very minor thing. Maybe somebody can unpack that for us.
Yeah, basically, if you're a Buddhist, you can choose whatever path you want. You can be a Christian. You can be, I suppose, a Satanist. I don't know. Basically, you can choose to wear any belief you want, as long as you wear it like a loose-fitting cloak, and you can cast it off if it gets problematic. So it's kind of a no dogma, but if you want to adopt the dogma, and a lot of Buddhists, like most Buddhists, I don't know where. Yeah, I got this from that short video that you introduced me to. Most Buddhists just, it's like, okay, we're not going to do anything at all. We're just going to live our lives, which is, we're just going to chop wood and take care of our kids and live our lives and worry about death when death happens. So
You're wrong, Speed.
Midnight, when it
I
comes
love
to
you.
wrong, Midnight.
Well, come on, man. I love you. You know that.
Yeah, okay, I know. Okay,
Platonic love, by the way. You're not my type.
Yeah, I know. I'm Danny's type, though. Well, I'm a little young for Danny.
Wait. How old does he want them? 90?
Well, he said he had something about a 72-year-old, and that kind of creeped me the fuck out.
That's right. He did, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ. What
Yeah,
a degenerate.
Yeah, he is a degenerate. So I just sent my proof of vaccination to the Faithless Forum, which is going to be in Austin, Texas, on November 19th. I have to fight with Delta Airlines and rebook a ticket I bought 2 years ago. And so I'm going to Faithless Forum.
By the way, I hate Frodo's argument.
I know.
Oh, man.
Actually,
let's not start talking about football again.
Well, since you brought it up, Midnight, did you see the two? This guy, Charlie?
I only watched one.
Okay, there's two.
Yeah,
There's two of them. He called in. The other one was Talk Heathens, I think.
Although I do plan on watching those, even though
they're short. They're only like 10 minutes long. Or I think the one I found today was was Matt and Arden were on there, and it was The Line, and I think it was less than 12 minutes long. It was like 11 minutes and something. So, but it was the same guy that called in. I think yesterday it was Talk Heathen, and he talked to J Mike, and I forget the other host.
So what's up with Talk Heathen? Is Eric Murphy no longer on there?
Yeah, he and Vi started their own YouTube channel. They've been streaming for quite a while.
What is it? Skeptic something, right? I forget the name of it. Skeptic something.
Yeah, I haven't
genetic. No, Skeptic. No. What am I thinking of?
I mean, Talk Heathen is not. Well, when Jamie left, half the show left, and when Eric
Jamie left, it just really was not the same for me.
Right? Yeah, I don't really. But I mean, I'm wondering, did they have a falling out too with the ACA, because that seems to happen?
Well, Jamie did. Oh, I don't know about Eric.
Okay, what they're looking at here is a fence, looking upward through the fence because it's a roof fence. It's to keep the eagles and shit like that from eating my cats.
And raccoons.
Raccoons on your fence.
I do not think.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Even though it's scary as fuck.
Is this live? No,
not
live. Or okay,
no,
this is
from last night. I was feeding him ham, and
ham. Really? Oh, I see. Okay,
that's cute.
Yeah, but I'm.
Oh my God!
I had
those eyes.
I handed it to him, and I had to. I couldn't video while he was taking it because he grabs me with his claws, and it's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
But
by the way, Speed. Have you bought the raccoon simulator yet?
A raccoon simulator?
Yeah, remember Top Dog was playing it on stream. Remember?
Oh yeah. No, I haven't played that, but I figure I got enough. I got enough raccoon problems.
And you said they don't like certain. What did you say they don't like? You said they like the dog food over what?
Well, if I put dog food out and put ham down, he'd grab the dog food. I don't know.
Really?
That's weird. Your raccoons are weird, Speed. They're like you.
Yeah, I bought 110 pounds of dog food this morning.
Yeah.
So
wow.
And it'll be gone, within 2 weeks.
But the thing of it is that's why, like that you just gave them ham. That's probably the worst thing to give them because most wild animals don't digest fat well.
Oh, these guys do.
Well, I mean, maybe they do. I don't know, but usually, like especially if you give a dog, right? If you give a dog ham, it's like usually gives them the runs, right? Because
really, I used to feed my dog like almost whole hams, and the thing is,
wrong with you, Speed?
You got to get your animal. I mean, you got to like when you make dinner, like when I had a Saint Bernard, when I made dinner, I always made him a plate of whatever we were having from the time he was a puppy. And he'd be like, taco night was his favorite night, and it'd be like, hey, do you want sauce on that? Do you want cheese on that?
But when he got older, did he struggle with it though? Even when he was older, or
no, he never struggled. Never struggled.
Really? I had a German Shepherd, and maybe German Shepherds just have a different digestive system. But I had a German Shepherd, and I could do the same thing. When he's younger, he's young and his system works good. But when he got older, if you fed him anything with any type of fat in it, like ham, is loaded with fat, of course. And he did not agree with him when he got older.
Yeah, it was only two times. 2 times he got sick. Once turkey dinner, we give him so many leftovers that he actually he actually didn't finish them for a change.
Yeah,
and he looked a little sick for a while. And the other time was I made pickleweenie mush, which is wieners ground up with pickles and mayonnaise.
Ugliest weenie.
And his stomach flipped over. But it wasn't from the pickleweenie much. It was because he was a big dog, and it would have happened anyway. But he got so sick, so for a year or two.
Who let the Dutchman in here?
I know. Every time I made pickleweenie much, he would run in the other room. But I never seen a dog. I never seen a dog shit like that.
Leverage now.
Hey, Peter, you do have a leverage. I'm going to invite you every day now until you introduce me to Pigliucci.
I can tell you that's going to happen.
Oh, thank you. That would be great. We could have one hell of a talk.
See, if you would send me a link more often, I'd get you some good guests.
Yeah, I know.
No, Speed, don't believe him. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Speed, ban midnight. Ban midnight.
Oh, come on. Seriously. Seriously.
Peter's
okay, well then.
Peter's on the permalink plan now.
Since I just spoke to Massimo Pigliucci, and I can actually pronounce his name, I'm going to be the Darth in here. So I'm going to say ban midnight. Ban him.
Ban him. I banned him.
Well, you know what? Fuck you. I have immunity. Well, at least I did. Apparently not.
Minute.
At least I don't have immunity.
Who are you going to introduce me to?
Yeah,
that's a good question. Who do you want me to introduce you to? Aron Ra? Oh wait, Peter knows Aron Ra.
Daniel Dennett.
I mean, I could spend months. I could spend months getting, becoming his friend and then introducing him to you.
Leo wants you gone.
Well, fuck you, Leo. Did you block me on Twitter? I don't see your posts anymore.
I don't know. So, let's see.
What I should block you on Twitter.
Video details. Should we watch that thing? Oh God, do we want to talk about photo or natural selection?
Well, you know what? Just fuck it. Watch it because it's funny because it's gay. I don't know.
Which one? Which one is
Dillahunty?
Oh,
wait.
Yeah.
Again.
Wow, he doesn't really. I mean, did you watch it, Speed? Yeah.
No, I haven't.
It is the argument, but he doesn't really.
Well, what does Dillahunty do?
I mean,
he sucks at the argument, basically.
He chews them up and spits them out, basically.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is it worth watching?
Yes.
I mean, you can. Yeah, if you don't really have any other subject, sure.
I got no content. Well, I have a picture.
Everyone watching now, hop over to Aron Ra's channel and watch the stream that has just ended.
You can speed it up, and and it's only an 11-minute video, so you could if you speed it up at least one and a half, you can understand it.
Aron Ra's video is linked in the description, along with a few other things, including Top Dog's picks of the day, and the description is already fat. So
I approved Top Dog's message earlier in the chat. He was spamming his forums.
Ooh.
I approve.
No, that's not a forum.
I approve of Jesus. Wait, I'm not a Christian.
Ban him. Ban him right now.
Ban him.
Even Raw Harlequin Energy is in on it.
Yeah.
And Fina. Fine. I'll leave.
I just want to mention, it's not a stream if we don't talk about Lil Peepee, John Maddox. I want to mention that he sent out his concern over my falling out with Gurr in one of Gurr's streams, and his heartfelt concern for me, because me and Gurr had this falling out, and we have this this horrible enmity going on. I just wanted to mention that John Maddox weighed in. So
I think he should have stayed. I think he should have moved to Florida, because I really think there's probably right.
Yeah,
because I think there's something in the water in Tennessee, and it's not doing him any good, because he seems to be getting more and more dipshittery, I would call it.
Yeah,
by the day.
Well, he watched what I said about Gurr yesterday. For about what I went on for about 5 minutes.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Explaining how far down in the basement Gurr was, and out of that he said, "God, Speed really hates you. What's going on?" Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, fell out of what? Okay, I could play this. I could. What do you think?
For some reason, I want to play the song "I'm All Out of Love" right now, because of the Gurr and Speed.
Gurr Speed, yeah.
The Gurr Speed controversy.
It's hard for me to talk about still. I was thinking about taking my channel down even because of it. It is just so painful to me. But anyway,
I'm curious about this clip. Before you play it, should you play, I don't know, Benny Hill song or something?
Oh, that's an idea. Okay.
He isn't there, is he? He isn't in chat. Oh, by the way, that guy, that Jello guy, he sent me an email from a different account this morning, and it just had a paper, and the picture I used for the thumbnail is from that paper, and it's a wonderful paper, and I got to thank him for that. He linked me to his cat's board, his forum, and all he did was print the paper like, oh, look at this. And it happens to be about the early division of cells in mammals, and how cells find out, who they are and where they're going to be. And for some reason, he sent it to me as if I'm going to say, oh my God, praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus. No, wait, praise Speed.
Yeah.
I become a Speedite. No.
CRISPR has a question for you.
Yeah. Is that serious, or does he actually know the guy?
Charlie,
or is he just joking?
Free to join. Charlie
is this guy, the Charlie who's in this video?
In the video.
Oh my God.
I wonder if he's joking or if he actually knows the guy. He may know from Discord. Who knows? I don't know.
Why don't we listen to the segment and then decide?
Yeah, I have to be out of here. I have to be out of here at 6 p.m. today. I have a meeting that I have to attend.
Okay.
So
talking about Discord, the Jello has made his own Discord server.
Oh my God.
He'll screw that up. He did that before, though, Peter.
Hold on. I joined.
Okay.
And I haven't been kicked yet.
Wow. Okay, but he did that before, and he messed it all up, right? That I don't. This is a while back, and everybody went in it, and I don't know that much about Discord, but it was an absolute mess. Like people, I don't know if people got mods or they spammed it or what. I don't know what happened because I don't know shit about Discord, but it was a mess, and he had to shut it down because he didn't know what he was doing. He had no clue what he was doing with it or something. So.
Looks like the like button is broken.
You're asking. You're in there. Oh no, hold on. You're not. Okay.
Should I play?
Yes, go ahead.
Dog.
Okay. Looks like my like button is broken again. I don't know why. Got 22 watching and I only got 6 likes. Must be broken. Okay.
Not bad. How are you?
Well, I'll just get it out there then. Oh yeah, sorry. I guess there's a delay, so I'll try to work with that.
Yeah, we'll do our best. This came up a little bit with Khaled because there's about a 2.5-3 second delay on occasion, and it varies. And so we're not just trying to talk over you.
Give the case that the theory of evolution by natural selection is not a proper scientific theory, and so in order for it to be a scientific theory, it must be able to specify a causal mechanism that explains changes in allele frequency of a given population of organisms in a given ecology. My criticism is that the theory doesn't offer such a mechanism because in concept, it can't distinguish traits that are correlated with fitness from those that are causal of fitness.
So
I can illustrate my point if that's not.
I don't think it's relevant. I'm actually not even sure why you would call in with us to address this, because first of all, the causal mechanism of the change in allele frequency is random mutations, and the selection process is natural selection, and which is a number of different factors, which could be climate, isolation, things like that. But if you're going to complain that the theory of evolution by means of natural selection isn't a scientific theory, then you should take it up with, I don't know, scientists, every science organization, the National Academy of Sciences, the Wikipedia article that lists it that way, the foundational, like every science within biology that looks at that the theory of evolution as one of the most robust and well-established scientific models and theories that we have. And so I don't know what you, and even if, and this is, I think this is just obviously false, but even if you were correct that it shouldn't qualify as a scientific theory, it's undeniable that the theory of evolution by means of natural selection has grown over the last century and a half to be one of the most robustly well-established cornerstones of modern science that exists. And so if you exclude it, I don't know what else you're likely to get in. Are you going to get cell theory in or plate tectonics or any of that stuff? Because it makes testable predictions. But why on earth would you call in to the hang-up the two non-scientists to complain about something? Is it
okay?
Now with Fodor, the only subject of that controversy is natural selection, but he talked about the mechanisms as if they all mean natural selection or something. But isn't there? And let me test my recombination, mutation, genetic drift, and isn't there like another mechanism that they look at?
Copying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Copying errors.
So copying, basically copying to begin with, and then copying with modification, and that gives you diversity. And diversity in an environment will select for certain genotypes.
Yeah. So
and their complaint is that that the theory itself doesn't tell you exactly what phenotype is going to result from a genotype, right? And parts of the theory give you parts of that, but there's no way to predict exactly which phenotype or which phenotypic traits are going to be in the future, right? So they're complaining that it can't predict biology in the future, and everybody knows that we can't predict biology in the future.
Right. That's not necessarily. I guess that would be a great goal of genetics, and maybe it is. But if you can somehow go from theory to just associating changes in phenotypes to changes in the genes, then you've satisfied the cause and effect, the causal mechanism.
If we could stop the world and we had really powerful computers, we may be able to do what they're asking, but we would have to stop the world. We'd have to freeze nature in exactly the shape that it's in right now, right? So that nothing changed. No new rivers, no erosion, no changes, no climate change, nothing. And then we could predict, further into the future. So it's just it's a straw man version of what we're trying to do in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? No one ever said that we were going to be able to predict what kind of animal we were going to become. We can't. We'll leave that to the fucking Bible. They think they can, right? So it just doesn't land. So anyway, let's see what else Matt has to do with him.
Because no scientist will take this seriously when you say it's not science?
Right.
Well, I want to clarify. some things before I answer that question. So this is an objection that comes from the philosophy of science.
If he says thump thump, I think I'm going to kill him.
Which has been, some biologists are aware of this objection. They acknowledge that it could be a potential problem for the theory. But with regards to atheism, in particular, I think it's not so much a refutation. I don't think that showing that natural selection isn't a proper scientific theory would show that atheism is false or atheism simpliciter. But I think it's relevant
fucking
to
point already.
Maybe like callers of the show, maybe even yourself, because it calls into question, what you as an atheist informed by methodological naturalism believes about evolution, as a secular explanation for the origin of our species. And if I can show that the theory of evolution by natural selection isn't, it's like top dog, but if I can show, like, as far as evolutionary theory goes, but if I can show that it's problematic, maybe you might consider some other explanation.
I'd be happy. You don't have to show it's problematic for me to consider other explanations. What makes me consider other explanations is the evidence for them. You could show that evolution is absolutely false right now, and it would not do one bit to convince me that a God exists or that a God did anything. My atheism is not in any way contingent on the theory of evolution by means of natural selection. Not one bit. Now, science and scientific methodologies and methodological naturalism is also not a cornerstone or a foundational thing to my atheism. I'm an atheist because the God claims have not met their burden of proof. And you can do this. Discovery Institute does this crap all the time. I've already debated Michael Egnor, but the Discovery Institute never tries to actually demonstrate the truth of creationism. Instead, they want to poke holes in evolution. And when Egnor came to debate me, he didn't try to demonstrate the truth of a God existence. He tried to make me look foolish. You're not here to try to prove a God. You have some niche understanding of science, which does not match with any reputable scientific organization or expert. And you want to call in here to suggest that I should accept your niche, unsupported. It's ridiculous. We teach this in science class, and we absolutely should, because the demonstration of common descent, common ancestry, is incredibly strong, right down to chromosome 2. This is not even a contentious issue among religious people, except for fundamentalists. The Catholic Church is fine with it. In the various cases where this has come up, nothing about creationism rises to even the level of a scientific hypothesis, and certainly nothing worth accepting. So you can sit here and talk until you're blue in the face. Actually, you can't, because I won't let you. But you can sit here until you're blue in the face talking about how you don't think evolution should qualify as a scientific theory. And you're not going to convince me based on this. But even if you did, the one thing we would have to acknowledge is that creationism and theism isn't even in the same ballpark as something like evolution with regard to whether or not it should be considered science or acceptable.
Okay. Well, I wanted to make a clarification, because we ought to distinguish two things. So evolution is its own separate theory, right? So that's going to be like common ancestor, and refer to things like the phylogenetic tree. But what is being contested is the mechanism by which evolution happens, right? So that's what I'm here to contest.
You're contesting that random mutations
I can give
occur. Are you contesting that random mutations occur?
No.
Are you contesting that the
No,
facts...
but I can...
wait, let me finish the second question. If you're not...
I don't even think Fodor contests that part of it. I don't know. It doesn't...
Contesting that random mutations occur.
Mm-hmm.
Are you contesting the fact that those random mutations are going to be selected for or against by the environmental facts that they find themselves in? Like if I have a mutation that prevents me from breathing oxygen, I'm probably going to die. Whereas if I can filter oxygen out of water, I'm probably going to be able to survive underwater. That the environmental pressures and changes in those environmental pressures will determine which genetic things are passed on to offspring.
That's precisely correct. But I'm contesting that natural selection isn't able to do. Whenever we make predictions about an organism, we're making local predictions. Whereas natural selection is abstracting from all possible ecologies and saying that creatures will be selected for their relative fitness of their traits in their ecology. But that's exactly the point I was trying to make. And I was going to bring up the case of coextensive traits, or traits that are linked, to show that a blind process, a blind, non-minded environment won't be able to tell the difference between traits that
it doesn't tell the difference. This is not about this. No, stop, Charlie. This is the mistake in your understanding. The blind process doesn't tell the difference. The blind process doesn't care. It's not selecting for as if there's a mind there going, ooh, I want this. What it's saying is those creatures that evolve to have a thicker coat are more likely to survive as the climate is colder than those creatures that evolve without a thicker coat. There's no...
it's literally called a blind process. How can a blind process choose? You know what I mean? Like, Charlie is just...
Yeah.
Go ahead. Wrote a clip, I guess.
Danny's in the chat. I think I'm going to boot him.
No, let him in.
No, I'm going to fucking boot him.
Well, I mean, Speed. You know, if Danny wants to defend,
he doesn't have
argument,
anything to say about this argument. It's not that complicated. Jesus Christ, it's not that complicated an argument.
What
it just doesn't land.
What the fuck is Peter sharing?
Anyway, I'm going on.
Thought in the process
go
at all.
ahead.
It is just the raw facts that the environment one finds itself in will determine whether or not the traits that one has are selected against, in the sense of you're not going to survive, or you are less likely to survive to pass your genes on to your offspring. That's all evolution is.
Right. So I should make this another clarification.
You know
so
what you should do? You should stop responding with a clarification.
Can't make the difference.
You should stop responding with a clarification.
Well,
and you should start acknowledging what the fuck I've said.
Sure, but I'm about to address that because I'm saying that the theory of natural selection needs to specify a mechanism, and the blind process, the blind environment, isn't going to be able to tell us in concept what traits are going to be selected, or excuse me, what traits are going to be causal of fitness and which ones are going to be correlated. And so, like, I can run the illustration. It's going to be real quick.
Charlie, no, stop talking. I just fucking explained to you that the blind process is not thinking. It's not choosing. You're complaining that the blind process isn't going to be able to tell what fitness is. At no point is there something saying this is fit and this is not fit. It is just nature. It is just, are you capable of surviving in this environment enough to pass on your genes? If so, then those genes gets passed on. If you're not, then those genes don't get passed on. This has nothing to do with a comprehension on the part of the mechanism. A mechanism does not have to have agency. I can create a sheet of wood and cut different holes of different sizes into it, and then dump a bunch of rocks on it. And the rocks that get through to the next layer are the ones that can fit through the holes. There's no, and then we created another layer below that with even smaller holes. And we can filter rocks down like this. It does not require any thought or agency on behalf of the holes or the rocks. That is not what evolution is. You have a fundamental, gross conceptual error if you are objecting that natural selection as a mechanism cannot think.
Right. So I don't know how to respond without repeating what I said earlier, that I'm criticizing the theory for not being able to propose the mechanism.
Yes,
the mechanism has been proposed. Your mechanism does not have to be a thinking agent. It does not have to have a plan. It does not have to do anything. It can be purely mechanical. That's right there in the name. Hydrogen and oxygen don't have to say, I want to become water. Hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms combine to become water under the right physical conditions, operating without a mind behind it. If you are going to object to chemistry because you think there should be a mind behind it, you have a gross conceptual error. I'm sorry, Charlie, but I'm no longer interested in this. Go take it up with scientists.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlie.
Object to that without proposing what it could be, what mechanism is. Because if you accept evolution exists, but you don't accept natural selection as the mechanism by which it happens, you have to. I would think you would want to propose an alternative to convince us, but you didn't do that. You just wanted to.
Yeah. So much for that.
I bet Charlie's now running around on Discord telling that Matt Dillahunty's theory is full of holes.
Yeah.
And Midnight, you can read what I shared.
Yeah, well, I couldn't see what you shared, Danny. Sorry, Peter.
Job.
I know, but let me read it.
Job.
Let me read it. If you can make it full screen, that would be nice.
I can't do that. That Speed has to do that.
Speed.
What?
Would you mind making Peter full screen so I can read?
Here. Where's Peter? Oh, there's Peter.
There. Mohammed Safa. If you are not a scientist and you disagree with scientists about science, it's actually not a disagreement. You're just wrong. Science is not truth. Science is finding the truth. When science changes its opinion, it didn't lie to you. It learned more. Mwah! Perfection.
See? Okay, I can share another thing.
All right.
Anyone attending the Danny holiday?
What?
The Danny holiday? What is that?
Yeah, the October 31st. There's a holiday. Keep me full screen. Keep me full screen. October 31st. There's a Danny holiday, and they've been advertising for it on buses. There you go.
Interesting.
Let me see this. JesusWeenie.com. Should Jesus replace Halloween? Jesus
oh my God.
Fuck.
What the hell is that? What? Okay, can you unpack that?
Christmas gift giving fest. What?
What the fuck? Jesus,
I think, yeah. The baby Jesus is Ween, aka Little Weenie.
Oh my!
It's a Canadian city bus somewhere. Ontario.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's in in Canada.
We need to talk to Randolph about this because
we need some information from Randolph, our reporter on the streets there in Canada.
And they left out an R in the bottom quote. Christian Grift Giving Festival. I think that should read.
Lost opportunity.
I'm not. Yeah.
So the problem with this whole fucking photo thing is this, okay? I want them to write out what they think the theory is supposed to do. What would the theory look like if it worked, if it was a scientific theory in your mind? What would it do? What are you fucking complaining about? That's what I want to know.
Someone should brainwash Speed so the word Fodor doesn't trigger him anymore. And
there needs to be some sort of PTSD.
I'm not fucking triggered, Peter.
I mean, some people see squirrels. I wish you saw squirrels. You see Fodor, and you immediately deflect from everything.
What the fuck makes you think I'm triggered right now?
You are, because you're entertaining the idea again.
Okay. I'm a little triggered by Fodor and stupid arguments. Anyway.
Hold on. I should edit that image and I should make it say this vehicle doesn't stop when Danny is crossing.
Speed, did you watch the Egnor debate with Matt Dillahunty? Because I think Cafe brought that one up.
I think I watched part of it. And he was talking, the first what the hell was it? Who is it? The big guy with his name starts with an A. He's got an argument for God from like the Middle Ages. Who the fuck is that? Who am I thinking of? Augustine? God, I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Egnor brought up his first three arguments or something like that.
Yeah.
You're talking about
and they were all pretty pitiful. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why I brought it up is Cafe, of course, Cafe's in the chat, and he hates Dillahunty. And he said, that should have been, Dillahunty wishes he, never did that debate never happened. I mean, the man, I thought it was an absolute joke. He was saying that, singularities are supernatural. And then he's saying to Matt, well, what are they? Tell me what they are. Prove me, basically prove me wrong. I mean, that was an absolute joke. And here's Cafe saying, I don't know. Cafe's going to side with any theist, of course. But I thought that part of the argument was a joke. But.
Yeah, CRISPR and Danny are having it out. Danny has told me that CRISPR agrees with him. I don't know. It don't look like it, Danny.
I don't
looking
think
good
so.
for you.
I'm almost thinking I'm going to have to read all that Fodor stuff just to understand what's going on, what the point of contention is.
Well, the book is painful. It's pretty painful. He wrote a paper called "If Pigs Could Fly" or something that probably. And then he also wrote another paper that summarized it. I have it somewhere.
Summarized his own paper?
Yeah, well, he summarizes the book and he comes back at his critics, but he's just, I don't know, doesn't make a lot of sense. Fodor did do some good work in a couple of areas, but it wasn't this one. I don't know why he got into this fight, but no one takes him seriously that I can find. No one. Anyway.
Except you. Keep talking about it.
What?
Sorry.
You're on a roll. Don't fuck it up.
I've got leverage. I've got leverage. I've got a show where I can put that guest on too. You know.
Yeah, you can just about do anything you want right now, and I guess I wouldn't. Oh shit!
Another friendly, a friendly theist that comes in, Daniel Bennett. I agree. Egno was brilliant.
Oh my god!
But he said the singularity. Besides the singularity thing, so he at least he agrees with that. That was.
What did he say about the singularity?
He said it was supernatural.
Oh, just flat out. Yeah,
just flat out. It's supernatural, flat out, and he basically was trying to say to Matt, "Well, tell me what it is, and basically prove me wrong." You know.
Oh, this is Rich. Danny is telling CRISPR that he doesn't know what. I'm sorry, David. I'm not triggered.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
I know you get triggered over Danny.
I'm not triggered.
Yes, you are.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. CRISPR
says has a ton of squirrels running around in chat right now.
Danny says that CRISPR doesn't understand what natural selection is. That's rich. That's pretty fucking rich, Danny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We now have a philosophical natural selection.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh my. Anyway.
Pete, at some point I have to talk to you about the rules of running a live stream. Rule number 1, do not feed the trolls.
Oh.
Rule number 2, do not feed the fucking trolls.
You mean the Danny troll?
Rule number 3, let the trolls starve.
I've got my mouse right on the block button, but I'm sure CRISPR would get mad at me if I did. So
yeah, that's the thing. You're trying to satisfy everybody. Nobody.
But I got a little. I'm really old, and I got a little of the palsy. My finger is shaking. So
Pete, everyone hates me already. So shall I do it? Everyone hates me already. Shall I do it?
Which one? What? Oh no, no, don't. No,
you guys were talking about. You guys were talking about all these troll things, and then who let the trolls out?
Who let the trolls out?
Yes.
Funny you should mention that. On Ross at the pound.
What? At the pound? Oh, at the pound?
Pound.
They put him there, or he went there to get a dog?
Falco get out again.
Oh.
Literally 2 minutes before we started, someone rang the doorbell and said, "Your dog's at the pound," so you had to send someone over to get him.
Oh, they've been like confiscating his dog because he gets out?
Well, it's a big dog.
Oh. So when we go back,
the dog used to run into the fence in order to break it to get out. I'm not even kidding.
When we end the live stream, I'll tell you a story that I will not tell live, and you are forbidden to tell anybody, or you are forbidden to tell anybody about it. But I got to tell you a story about a dog and a neighbor and a problem, and how I solved it. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
don't tell that.
Oh, we got to shoot it in the head. Oh, goddamn!
Already?
No, I just gave it. I just gave away the ending.
Wait a minute! Wasn't the guy from the video supposed to come in?
Speed, what the hell is up with you? What have you been smoking today, Speed? You've been chewing too much. You've been chewing up too much of your nicotine.
He said he got scratched by a raccoon. Maybe he's got raccoon scratch fever.
Okay,
Yeah.
Does anybody
fever,
is anybody familiar
I'm just
with
curious, Speed, because you said we can't tell anyone after you tell us when we've shot it in the head. But I've heard the story before, so can I talk about the time before?
You've heard no,
because you didn't say that I couldn't share it back then.
Oh, did I tell you the story about Ralph?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, the New Radicals. Anybody heard of the New Radicals? It's a band, and they have a song. I think it's called "I Just Gave Away the Ending" or something like that. It's pretty cool. Maybe You've Been Brainwashed too is their one hit song that they had. Anyway, check out the New Radicals. They have fucking excellent songs. The guy is an amazing. The weird thing is the guy had an amazing voice, but I think he burnt it out in the studio. So when he did live performances, he couldn't do what he did in the studio. So he got embarrassed and they quit performing live, and they went on to write songs for a whole bunch of other popular bands. So anyway, story of the New Radicals. I will link it in my description. Can we shoot it in the head? Balance?
Right. I guess you got to end in 10 minutes anyway, right? So
yeah, you may as well shoot it.
What's in 10 minutes?
He's got a
Speed has a meeting, so he has to end it.
I got a meeting.
Yeah.
Speed has a meeting.
Yeah. He knocked out the first hour for Aron's.
Wait. So the raccoons are waiting for you?
No, it's something a little different than that. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what I got to do to shoot it in the head. So anyway, guys, I'm sorry, but this is going to be short. But tomorrow is Shit Show Friday, so we'll try to do a full 2 hours of Shit Show Friday.
There you go.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's Friday. After Friday comes,
I don't know.
Cancerous streams.
This is a loaded question. Wait
Saturday.
a minute.
And what is Saturday?
Yeah, but Saturday, it's probably coextensive with something. Can you make that prediction accurately? Okay, can you show me the mechanism?
Okay, I'll give you a clue to the mechanism. 4 words, each with a short description.
What? I'm lost. What's happening Saturday?
There's a show on Saturday. What's it called?
Snada?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday night.
And we are gonna have a nice.
How are you going to start
intro?
That show?
Right, a nice intro.
Oh,
how are you going?
Yep.
I haven't.
Oh, yes.
Yet, have I?
Yes, Speed.
Yeah.
Now
I still don't have an email with 4 words and a short description.
Damn it.
4 effing words. That's all it takes, Speed, and a little explanation and holy shit.
Yeah.
When he's on here, he's blabbing all the time. I ask him for 4 words, and it's taking him days.
That's what my mom said. Anyway. Okay. I'm shooting in the head. We got to go.
Oh, Cafe said Snada is an anagram of Satan. He's right.
No, it ain't. That's an anagram of Santa. How do you get Satan out of that?
Come on, get your words right.
I have no idea what they're talking about. Fucking people, you know? Okay, guys. We're shooting it in the head now. Where are we?
Yeah.
I got to find... Oh,
stay curious.
Goodbye, cruel world.
I asked for